Yesterday, I received a text from a friend of mine who had just watched the last video I uploaded to my channel. And she told me it made her cry. I can only apologize for any negative feelings. But I said in the video that before you can stand in the light, you have to go through darkness. That last month before I walked out truly was the darkest period of my life. I just knew something was going to blow it all to hell. But that was the darkness. And what I'd like to share with you today is the day I walked back into the light. I was supposed to get out on September 15, 2017. But there were a lot of unusual circumstances that made it that they held up my release for 24 hours. And then gave me 24 hours, less than 24 hours, to be out of the state. It's a lot of legal mumble jumble, interstate trade transfer, original convicting state, and a lot of other confusion. The long story of the short is I went from a bed in a building on a yard 11 miles from the Mexico border in southeastern Arizona, Douglas, Arizona, to a bed at my mother's house in Crescent City, California, in about 14 hours. And the events of that day is a trip. So, what was I, 57 that year, that morning, September 16, 17? I remember sitting on the edge of my rack, 5:30 in the morning, heart doing 120, waiting for him to come tell me to either go or stand down or take a flying fuck to hell. And then they showed up and took me to Sallyport. And it was a Saturday morning. And Saturday or Friday? It was a Friday or Sunday. I can't remember now, to be honest. But then they took me up to Complex and dressed me out in state blues. And after wearing orange for so many years, oh man, I gotta tell you, it made my eyes feel better. And then at 7:15, they opened the holding cell. I said, let's go. And walked out the door. On the other side of the chain link fence was my mother. 5'3", 75 years old. Standing in front of a white Toyota. It's the shit dreams are made of. I never expected to walk through that fucking gate, let alone have her or anyone else standing there when I did. And yet there I stood. The funny part about this was we had to be in Tucson 2.5 hours later to be on an airplane that we could not miss. Mom drove like a bat out of hell. But as we were driving up there, the only thing we keep telling each other was we did it. We made the plane, flew from Tucson to Seattle, Seattle to Portland, Portland to Crescent City. Walked into the parking lot. That's when Mom formally handed me the keys, even though I hadn't driven and I did not drive home that night. But she gave me the ceremony of giving me the car that she bought, the color she picked for me because she believed. So from there, she took me to the Pizza Hut. First street food I've had too long. And the high that I was riding was insane. When we got done eating, Mom had one more surprise. About 9:30 that night, she took me to Walmart. And I walked in the doors for the first time, and it was lit up like a bright, shiny sun. I can't even describe the roller coaster of emotions from the sensations, visual, audio, touch that I went through in that time. When we got done, we went to Mom's house. And I remember sitting on the bed in my room. My room. And I had the window open. And I heard the sea lions down in the bay, the harbor. And I remember thinking, I'm still alive. And now I'm free. That was 6 years ago. I'm still alive. And I'm still free. "38 years I've lived in darkness. For 6 years I've been in the light. My life is a roller coaster on steroids with rockets and boosters. Probably some nitrous in there somewhere. And some dumbass, I keep saying it, broke the switch. I'm having so much fun, I'm waiting for somebody to come up and tell me knock that shit off. But until they do, let's see what happens next. But don't think that I'm even getting started. Because I have a list of things to do.